Alright, I'm not doing Dynamite the Line, nothing. Forget that. I'm done. I'm pissed off. I'm legitimately pissed. And you might guess what it is. But I will describe it as I review this and give my final thoughts. International Championship, Bandino versus Orange Cassidy was actually a very good match. They got very good chemistry. And I have to say this, compared to most luchadors like Commander, to Serpentico, and several others from either Impact Wrestling or WWE or in AEW, I believe Bandito is a much more well-rounded luchador than most. He's got a lot of strength. He can be a high flyer when he needs to be, and he does show a lot of good ring work. And it makes it even harder with the mask on. Particularly, it's not showing his mouth. It barely shows his eyes. He has to do a little bit more work than most luchadors do. And he just has something more interesting, particularly after the match was over and when he got the glasses from Orange Cassidy and spoke with him with Renee Paquette. But I will give you this. If this was a main event, it would have been fine. I would have actually not minded this being a main event, and they had that talk afterward. It was a very good match. Now, Dax Harwood versus Double J Jeff Jarrett. I'm going to tell you this. That match was somewhat botched. The very beginning of the match, it felt botchy. It felt like that when it came to Jeff Jarrett, at first, he really wasn't doing very well with Dax. He just didn't feel like he was having good chemistry with him. It got better later. Either Dax managed to adapt to Jeff Jarrett's own style, which is he's more of an older school wrestler that is older in age. He's like in his mid-50s. He's a bit older than I am. He's like, what, 55, 57 at least? 55 or 57? So he's a bit older than I am. But you could see that Dax had to adjust a bit to try and work with his match. And when you see that it was Jeff Jarrett who won due to the fact that Sanjay Dutt and the others, well, Sanjay Dutt and the others were sent back, but Sanjay Dutt, I kind of wish Sanjay had not come out, but he had to make it mean something for Jeff Jarrett to start building to get those titles, because honestly, that's what I think might happen eventually. I am so hoping he does win because I want to see Slug Daddy do an AEW review being mad at Jeff Jarrett. That Memphis piece of crap. I want to see him go off. Assume Jeff Jarrett. I want to see that. For me personally, that's what I want to see. I want to see it. I want to see Jeff Slego, the Slug Daddy himself, get so pissed off he brings back Assume Jeff Jarrett position and he watches when he can, if he's on Dark or Dark Elevation, does videos on how Jeff Jarrett is giving time and he just can't stand. That's what I want. That's what I want. But doesn't mean they'll do it. But you get my point. Wardlow destroying a jobber very sloppily. Yes, it's good to see him work with art. I'm fine with him working with art. And what he did after the match is over, and I'm getting to the match in a minute, was fine. I didn't have a problem with it. I liked how he put over Wardlow, and then the setup with Christian with Luchasaurus is next, which angers me, not the one that pisses me off, but it angers me that Luchasaurus, who's now come back, is going to be fed possibly to a Wardlow, because I don't expect Luchasaurus to win that TNT title, because if he does, that just shows how much they don't care about the TNT title. They're going to keep it on Wardlow. They're not going to let Luchasaurus win it. And if they did, that makes it even worse, because then it's not going to be a legitimate title reign for Luchasaurus, because he'll drop it to somebody else. I'm just saying. But I'm glad to at least see they are going to do something with Wardlow a little bit with art. Now, what pissed me off, not the main thing that pissed me off, but Wardlow is not a bad wrestler. He can be sloppy at times, but here, you saw when that guy, I didn't even hear his name being mentioned. He was just a jobber to be destroyed. And he looked like Avalon, I believe, but he didn't. I don't think he was Avalon, but he kind of looked like Avalon. It's been a while since I've seen him. But he got powerbombed, and then very sloppily the first time he got powerbombed again on his head. He didn't even flip him back to fully powerbomb him. When he threw him down on the ground and powerbombed him, the guy didn't even get a chance to get up immediately, and Waller lost his grip, and the guy landed on his head. Waller was rushing and throwing him around like crazy. That was a mistake. That shows that Warlow did not pay attention. He could have hurt the guy, legitimately. And it wasn't the third and the fourth one. It was the first two that was really sloppy. I'm just saying. Now, I want to say that we are getting the Owen Hart Cup again. And they will be doing the tournament. And it's going to be probably, some parts of it is going to be in Europe. Some parts is going to be in America. But the final part of it, where the champion will, well, the one who wins the cup will be in Canada, I believe. Will it be in Canada? I don't remember. But it will, I think it's going to be in Canada or in Japan. No, they're going to do something in Europe, I believe. Then they're going to do something in Canada. But I believe they're going to do it in possibly in Japan or working with New Japan. No, in Forbidden Door. In America, I believe. When they do Forbidden Door, they'll be working with New Japan Pro Wrestling. And that person who wins will get the cup while they're working with New Japan Pro Wrestling, because Owen Hart did become the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. So they want to try and honor that, which I'm fine with. I'm actually glad to see the Owen Cup coming back. I'm glad to see it. Now, what did I think of the Adam Cole segment? It was okay. Adam Cole talking about how much he can't stand that Y2J. I know I don't have to call him that. I call him the demigod, but I like calling him Y2J once in a while to change it up. But pretty much because he aligned himself with the outsiders, his woman got hurt, and he wanted his head on a platter. And what do we get from Chris saying, "You're nothing but a coward because you let your woman get hurt"? While he was chained up, he was a coward. Fine. We get the JS coming out, beating him down. We get Bandito as well as Orange Cassidy coming to help him. Don't know why. Because they've not really talked to each other. There's no friendship there. But we get Roderick Strong showing up now in AEW. He's now there. Roderick Strong, who left Diamond Mine, who probably had to wait months before he was legally allowed to wrestle. He's now going to be in All Elite Wrestling. The only one that needs to be back is Fish. And I forgot his name. It's been so long. But maybe they'll be willing to get the Undisputed Era back together again. But this time, all four of them. Because people really like them. You never know. Now, let me give it like this. Did I enjoy the Four Pillars tournament? And seeing Sammy Guevara go up against Darby Allin? Yes. Seeing that Darby apologized to Jungle Boy because he went too far when they were talking last week is something that Darby would do. So would J-Boy. But in the end, they did not like each other. And they made it clear they didn't like each other. And pretty much, they made it very clear. I'll give you a hand. Supposedly, Jungle Boy was supposed to. He didn't come out. And he didn't stop MJF from doing anything. Because in the end, what happened in that match, which was a good match, even though Darby did get split open when he got thrown up against one of the ring posts. You see MJF, who was on commentary, who was eating his dill pickle and offering to Taz, who can't eat dill pickles because of the salt content. He went through the skateboard into the ring and got him disqualified. And MJF is happy. He basically said, Darby, go and do whatever you want. Jerk off all you want. Pretty much he said jerk off to something. Seeing J-Boy, do whatever you like to do. Eat bananas in the trees. But in the end, you don't get anything. At least until Tony Schiavone told him that next week you're having a tag match. If you win with Sammy Guevara, it's just you two. If you lose, it's going to be a fatal four-way between all four pillars, period. And they both exploded with rage. And which makes it very interesting because once it was over and they headed to the back, so they can go, supposedly we're going to go into MJF's SUV. He said, no, you can't get in. There's no room, which we saw there was room. He just didn't want Sammy with him. And Sammy, next to Sammy giving him a vest and MJF giving him a scarf, he knew he had an issue as he was unwrapping the tape on his wrist. I will tell you this is an interesting story between 4 wrestlers who have earned their position and have gone through the card from the bottom up, at least. Some of them. Except for MJF, who is working with, who's currently in WWE, who is currently very questionable if he may win the World Heavyweight Championship when it should be about Roman Reigns winning it from him, and they may just throw the World Heavyweight Championship on him just because they need to throw the Heavyweight Championship on someone from wherever, if it's Raw and SmackDown, which we will find out the draft on Friday, which I will be doing. I'm not going to do a Rampage review. I will be doing only that, and I will probably do ROH on Saturday, if anybody wants to see it, because it seemed no one really cared, but it's possible that was due to the fact that I released that on a Sunday instead of Saturday. We'll find out. But seeing them all rise together, that's understandable. Now, let's see if I'm forgetting anything else. The final match of the night. Butcher and Blade versus Kenny Omega and Konosuke Kateska. I believe that's how it's pronounced. His name. Hopefully I did. Good match. Didn't mind it. In the end, as I've always said about Butcher and freaking Blade, they never win on Dynamite. Never. When was the last time Butcher and Blade won on Dynamite in a tag match? I don't remember, because as far as I know, they never have ever won without either someone helping them in they've done 6-man or 8-man or 10-man tags. They have never won by themselves. Ever on Dynamite. I don't even think they won on Rampage. Ever. Put them on Elevation and Dark, they'll win all they want. But on the main shows, they never win their job. So this is what we got. And while this was going on, we had a little bit of Bryan Danielson at ringside. Well, he was on commentary, and then when it was over, he went to ringside, and he botched his lines, saying, Kateska, if you join you will do better with the Elite, but, you'd be better with the Blackpool Combat Club, not the Elite. He botched there, just like that. He realized he was saying the Elite was better than the Blackpool Combat Club, and then as he was going through his monologue, the Blackpool Combat Club came and beat the crap out of a Kenny Omega. And then, when you see the screwdriver come out, we get not only the Bucks coming out, we see that, Kateska being coaxed by a Bryan Danielson to stop him from hurting let me give it to you like this. Knowing that Moxley was going to be the one that was going to do it was not surprising. It was not going to be Claudio. It was not going to be Willie Union. It was not going to be Bryan Danielson. If there was going to be any blood, it would have been a Jon Moxley. So I wasn't surprised here. But let's make this very clear. Kateska stopped him, and that blew his only chance to really hurt Moxley for Don, and then he basically got hosed. And that was Kateska being thrown into Kenny, who was not happy that he was interfering. And then the Blackpool Combat Club is trying to say, you're joining us. He said, no, I'm not doing it. And then he gets nut shotted by Eula. And then in the head by Jon Moxley. And he's bleeding all over the place. And now we see more of this feud between the Blackpool Combat Club and the Elite, which I'm fine with. I'm all right with it. I don't really have a major problem with it. So, and yes, I know I can talk about Britt Baker and her. I'm going to leave what she and Jamie Hayter said. And I'm also going to leave QT Marshall and QT TV alone as well. I want to see how far they're going to go, because I did see the shiner on Britt's eye from the attack. She got a big ass shiner in eye. But I'm leaving it for next week Or, because I am going to watch Rampage, I'm not going to do a review of it. I'll see what they're going to do this Rampage, but I think they'll do something this Wednesday. So with those two, I'm leaving it alone. But here is where the show, which was good, I'm not going to tell you it was perfect, but it was good. Okay, this is where, like I said earlier, because the camera died, battery died, the show was good. It was not bad. But this is where I get pissed off. The TBS title match between Taya Valkyrie and Jade Cargill. Look, I'm making it clear right now. I'm done with Jade Cargill. I know it's not her fault. Of course. Well, I should take that back. Part of it is her fault. Let's be honest here. The actual wrestler herself, there's no way she didn't politic a little bit to try and keep that title and to keep this coming in and getting the TV time. There's no way she didn't. There's no way she didn't say, hey, I want to try and keep this title a bit longer if it's giving her something where she's getting advantage, like extra pay, more TV time, more endorsements, whatever. Every wrestler at one point or another is going to simply just politic, pitch. That is the way the business works. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So she does have some level of blame. But Tony is the one who makes this final decision, and I totally blame Tony Khan for this. You see, I'm botching because I'm angry. Look, Taya Valkyrie, one of the most decorated wrestlers there is, comes to AEW. You don't give her a long-term program. You make it instantly after Jade Cargill. You don't let her face all the other women in there like what's going on with the OGs and the outsiders. You don't even give her that. You throw her straight at Jade Cargill, where 100% I knew there was a good chance she would drop, but as I've said before, she needed to win because Jade has done all she can with the title and the position she in, she needs to move on. But 55 wins now. She's been working 2 years. She's been a champion for almost a year and several months. And she's gained nothing. Nothing holding the damn title at this point. She needed a title, as I've said multiple times, that had prestige behind it to help elevate her to a status that will really give a real experience. Or, for the title itself, a brand new minted title that was meant for the network TBS, a credible wrestler to make the TBS title mean something. It'll bring more eyes onto the channels that they have TBS. No, you had a newly minted title and a very green but can be developed wrestler. And you let her win 54 matches over a year and several months already. With this title that Lily needed prestige, and there is none for it. It needed a veteran to make it prestigious, and there was nothing. And then you needed someone to really give Jade Cargill something to work for. And honestly, Jade has been champion 52 matches. No, 55 matches. I'm sorry, instead of 52. 55 matches. And this is a fucking stupid situation for her because she gains nothing. Yes, she gets TV time. Yes, she gets to be seen on Dynamite. She gets to be seen on Rampage. I'm sure she's seen on Dark and Dark Elevation. She's seen there. But does this really benefit her? No. She needs to chase something. She's still young in the business. No matter how gifted she is, she's a green fuck. And that's not meant to be disrespectful. Every male and female who's in the business, who's in her position, is fucked. Because they're given something they really needed to earn and strive for. They needed a title with prestige, or they need to go up against someone who's holding a title, prestigious, so they can gain credibility. She's gained none of it in 55 matches. I don't know what the Lex Man's going to say. I don't know what JD's going to say. I don't know what Jesse's going to say, or Solomon's going to say about this. Maybe they say, well, she's doing all right, but still, I'm not interested. Me personally, I really do like Jade Cargill. She's got a good level of charisma. She has improved her ring work a lot in the last year. She worked hard at it. I never take anything from her. She used to botch her lines whenever she did her promos and her vid pack. She's actually worked on her craft. So I say 100%. She has worked her ass off and she's earned where she is. But where is she? Is she here? No. She's holding a title that was created for her because they wanted to make TBS important. So they gave her a title that was here. Here, guys. This is where the title was. Here is where she was. What do we got now? Here. Not even halfway. Here. And that takes away from her talent. That takes away from all the work she's done on the mic, all the work she's done in the ring, how she's developed her charisma, and how she developed her shape. Let's be honest, Jade Cargill is freaking hot and beautiful. Even after having a kid. She busted her ass to get all those damn popped out abs and making sure that she's like this with all the cock dieselness and still has a damn good looking body while doing it. Unlike most women who go overboard or is going for competition, sometimes they go too far, like what happened with Gordon. I want to make it clear that Jordynne Grace is still not ugly. She just went too far with taking away the fat. Because she really wanted to prove that she can do great in competition. You went too far with it. She looks great. She busted her ass. And to be honest, I would love to see Jordynne Grace go up against Jade Cargill, a former basketball player who cut herself and got herself all in great shape, compared to an actual pro wrestler who was originally a power lifter and who is now a bodybuilder / pro wrestler. We know with Jordynne Grace she can kick that ass. She'd probably break her bones how strong she is. She's probably stronger than Jade is. But going back to the match, was the match good? Yes. It's not the problem of the match. It was the problem that she didn't drop the damn title and moved on. Jade has gotten as much as she can out of the title. She's at 55 wins. What has she gained? I'm asking you guys below. Tell me below, why should she keep that damn title? I want to know the reason why. Explain to me now. After now 2 years and maybe a few months in the business, she got a title within the first year. Not even within, 10 months or 8 months. When did she first get that damn title? Within maybe 6 months of being in the business, they create a title for TBS and she wins it. Instead of either Chris Statlander, Ruby Soho, or coming in Selena Deeps, or even Thunder Rosa. Women that have been known and had something there. And instead of giving it to one of them, they refused and gave it to Jade. To Jade. And I'm not against her because she's freaking black. Because I'm black just like anybody else. I'm half black. I'm a mixed black man. Even though my dominant is Puerto Rican, I'm still mixed black. So it's not because she's black. This is stupid. I'm angry that Jade has been treated like this. Now, like I said earlier, there's a strong possibility that she politicked a little bit of that so she can keep that damn title and get extra money. Because they do pay you extra money for when you're seen with a title. You get extra endorsements. You get extra TV time, which is added on to whatever you get next to your regular contract. AEW does that. Unlike the guarantee from WWE, not unless they rescinded that, and now endorsements finally come in and people are getting the money, which I think most or all of them are now, but before with WWE they weren't doing it. So this is stupid. Taya should have won. Or better yet, they should have built up Taya instead of going right to Jade, here, done. Now, I know people are going to say, dude, why are you getting upset? Look what happened with Audrey Edwards. She almost got rolled to Valhalla by Taya because Taya got cheated. Yeah, she did. But it shouldn't have happened like this. They should be setting it up for a pay-per-view that would truly help Taya Valkyrie to get really established, for Jade Cargill to have a good reason when she loses a title. It's on a good stage, so when she had to drop it, she can springboard herself off into the main title scene, or at least be a part of the main title scene for either the OG or for the outsiders. And that could help them because they need more. But it's just me. I'm pissed off at this. Maybe you'll give me a reason to calm down and say, dude, she will get it. And then I'll say, really? When we get the 56 match and she wins it, what then? Peace.